Morning students, today we are going to read the lecture number 14 in the topic of important questions in the subject of history O levels. So we are actually covering the important questions in the subject of history O levels. So concentrate yourself, we will read again almost 10 questions in the history subject. These are very important questions, so concentrate yourself. The first question for today is, what was the role of the Shariat code? It was established in 1980. The Federal Shariat Code of Pakistan has been the subject of criticism and controversy in the society. Created as an Islamization measure by the military regime and subsequently protected under the controversial 8th Amendment, its opponents question the very rationale and utility of this institution. It is stated that this code merely duplicates the functions of the existing superior courts and also operates as a check on the sovereignty of the parliament. So these were the criticisms against Shariat code. The composition of the code, particularly the mode of the appointment of the judges and insecurity of their tenure, is taken exception to, and it is alleged that this code does not fully meet the criterion prescribed for the independence of the judiciary. So this was created, but it was not accepted by the mostly figures of the political system. So another important question for today is, who was Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan? Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan was a Pashtun political and spiritual leader known for his non-violent opposition to British rule in India. He was leader of the Red Shirts movement. Abdul Ghaffar Khan formed coalition government with Congress in NWFP during 1937 and 1945 elections. He also raised the Pakhtunistan issue after independence in 1947. The next important question for today is, what was the language issue? Pakistan consisted of two wings, East Bengal and West Pakistan. Now, Pakistan. Pakistan-wise, East Bengal formed the majority and the people spoke Bengali. They expected Bengali to be one of the state languages of Pakistan, but they felt frustrated and ignored when the central leadership, in cooperation with a few leaders of the East Bengal, declared that Urdu alone would be the state language of the Pakistan. This was to reduce provincialism. This declaration led to the widespread protest and agitation, leading to the bloodshed and killing by police firing on 21st February 1952. Bengali was in the end recognized as one of the state languages of the Pakistan in the Constitution of Pakistan, adopted in 1956. This made it the twin national language of Pakistan. So this was the language issue. The next important question that we are going to read today is, what was the issue of the Siachen Glacier? The Siachen conflict, sometimes referred to as the Siachen War, is a military conflict between Pakistan and India over the disputed Siachen Glacier region in Kashmir. The conflict began in 1984 with India's successful Operation Meghdood, during which it wrested control of the Siachen Glacier from Pakistan and forced the Pakistanis to retreat west of the Saltoro Ridge. This Siachen Glacier is the highest battleground on the earth, where India and Pakistan have fought intermittently since April 13, 1984. Both countries maintain permanent military presence in the region at a height of over 6,000 meters. The conflict in Siachen stems from the incompletely demarcated territory on the map. The 1972 Shimla Agreement did not clearly mention who controlled the glacier. The next important question that we are going to read today is, what was MRD? In opposition to Zia and his intention to continue as president, several opposition parties united to form a national protest movement, the Movement for the Restoration of the Democracy. So, this is the full form of the MRD, which campaigned for free elections with political parties fielding candidates. MRD called on people to boycott the referendum that was held in 1984. It also urged the people to boycott the 1985 elections. The MRD failed in its attempts to oppose Zia. Zia was able to resist the pressure from the MRD. Many people ignored it and campaigned within Zia's rules. So this was a failed movement. The next important question that we are going to read today, what was the Afghan miracle? On 25th December 1979, Soviet tanks rolled into Afghanistan. Until that time, the West had not taken Zia particularly seriously, and some Western leaders were unhappy that military dictatorship had replaced democracy. But the invasion had an immediate impact on the international relations. Now, Zia was the leader of a Muslim nation on the front line against the communist forces of the oppression. The West, in particular the United States, was ready to provide unconditional economic and military support to establish Pakistan as a base for anti-Soviet activities. The Soviet invasion proved to be a windfall to Zia. It established Pakistan as a leading country in world politics. Zia was able to increase the defense budget and develop the Pakistan army. So this was a Afghan miracle that proved to be a nice miracle for Zia. The next important question that we are going to read today is, what was the Pakhtunistan issue? In KPK, the leaders of the Red Shirts movement, Dr. Khan Sahib and Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, started this issue to merge. They wanted Balochistan and KPK to be made Pakhtunistan, where tribal system would be enforced. The Afghans argued that the Pakhtuns living in Pakistan wanted to join Afghanistan to form Pakhtunistan. Jinnah immediately flew to Peshawar to have talks with the leaders. He did not want them to create any problems as they had many enemies around. So this was the Pakhtunistan issue. The next important question that we are going to read today is, what was the Declaration of Lahore 1974? The 1973 Arab-Israel war led to an Islamic summit hosted by Pakistan in Lahore from 22nd to 24th September 1974 to look into the reasons, into the solutions of the Israel-Arab war. The heads of the 35 Muslim states attended, as well as the PLO leader Yasser Arafat. Besides the discussion on Palestine problem and condemnation of the Jewish aggression, a committee was formed for the elimination of the poverty, illiteracy and disease from Islamic countries. It was decided to set up an Islamic Development Bank for the help of the needy countries. The next important question that we are going to read is, what was the Baghdad Pact? Baghdad Pact was set up in February 1955 by Turkey and Iraq. It was designed to stop Soviet expansion in the Middle East. The United Kingdom joined in April, Pakistan in September, and Iran in November. The pact was later renamed to Central Asian Treaty Organization, that is called CENTO, that was created against the Russians. The group had permanent meetings, but unfortunately was unable to develop a permanent structure or a system for raising troops for mutual defense. Therefore, Iraq left the alliance in 1959, and by 1979, the organization was quietly dissolved. The last question for today is, what was the role of the RCD? Largely as a result of the work of the Ayub Khan, Pakistan, Turkey, and Iran set up the Regional Cooperation Development. So this is the full form of the RCD, Regional Cooperation for Development, was set up on 21st July 1964. This encouraged the three countries to develop closer trade links and help each other with industrial projects, such as setting up mills and factories. The agreement lapsed in 1979 but was re-established by Zia in 1985. Its name was changed to ECO, full form is Economic Cooperation Organization, in 1985. So this was the lecture today, students. I hope so this will be much more easier and interesting for you people to understand. So read this lecture again, understand it, learn it, and make your notes. Thank you so much.